Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. Today we are predicting the nominees for the Game Awards 2025. But before we get into that, Nick, how are we feeling?
It's the best day of the year, dude. This is probably my favorite podcast we shoot. This or announcements for Game Awards.
Yeah.
But I think that this is actually my favorite podcast because it kicks it all off. It's early November and we're talking about the Game Awards, baby. Like, we get finally in the season of talking about this stuff because every single year it just shocks you. It comes out of nowhere. All of a sudden, it like on a Sunday afternoon, Kaylee's like, we're dropping nominees on like Tuesday or something crazy. So I'm so excited to hop in with you, get jazzed up about the Game Awards. It's going to be a good one.
Do we know when the nominees are officially dropping?
It's mid-November. That's what the website says too. I did some research, obviously, into just last year's stuff. What qualifies for what category, what type of game, where does a Metroidvania land, is that action adventure, stuff like that when it comes to some of these categories and such. I had a lot of time to go and just work on this for an afternoon. I ate an entire pizza while doing this. It was a great time on Thursday. It was margarita pizza, and it was really good.
From where?
Just in an airport. Yeah, it was a good move though. Dude, I had so much pizza this past week. I had pizza 5 days this past week.
Damn.
I was in New York for a couple days, but then also while I was in Cincinnati, I was eating a lot of pizza. Big pizza guy this week. But no, life's been good, man. As always, football Sunday. So excited about that. Patriots, come on. Like we get to watch Drake May play
Great
football
game
today
too.
Yeah.
Probably game of the week.
Probably.
It's that or Rams Niners.
Green Bay Eagles is interesting on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good. There's so much excitement right now for the Patriots, and it's just been awesome. I have a good friend and who's a Patriots fan, and I was texting her this afternoon or last afternoon and just being like, life's good, right? Like, this is just, it's so much fun to have something that's exciting on the weekend to look forward to. Like 1 p.m. kickoff, I'm like, we need to be done by 1 p.m. Please, Lord, to be able to get it. I
kind of wish this was a 4 o'clock game for some reason. I thought this was going to be America's game of the week or whatever it is.
Get Tom Brady in the booth, dude.
Yeah.
They should have gotten Tom Brady in the booth for this one.
Yeah, that makes too much sense.
Yeah, exactly. Bucks, Patriots, you kidding me? But yeah, dude, life's been good. Obviously, it's just so much GTA news. There's just so much news right now in the gaming world. But I'm excited to talk to you about the end of this year and really kick off this end of the year in a strong way. It's crazy right now looking at our Google Doc of like what we got to get done in the next 6 weeks to get ready for Co-op Day. But that's so far away. Let's just worry about the Game Awards today. Connor, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Not much to report since we last spoke. I ran 3 miles yesterday. The furthest I've ran since probably I was in high school.
Wow.
My legs are jello.
You feeling it today?
Yeah. But honestly, like, it's just kind of addicting. Like, I wake up and I'm like, it's probably a rest day today, probably not going to run today. And then I end up running a couple of miles. I'm just like, I want to be out there. I want to be running. So I have to like really kind of force myself to take rest days at this point. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying to get Nick to do a turkey trot with me.
Here's the thing. I think I'm in.
Okay.
And I'm saying it on the podcast to get in. The issue is just like, I'm pretty sure that I've already have a prior agreement. I don't know if it's the Wednesday of Thanksgiving or the Thursday of Thanksgiving for Thursday the morning. I'm playing flag football on one of those days for a team. But no matter what, I want to do this because I also, you were like, it's something to look forward to. And I'm like, we don't do enough fun things together.
It's something to like prepare for. Like, I feel like I want to work towards it, see what time I get, rather than just kind of running aimlessly. Which is what I've been doing for the last few weeks.
It's fun though, dude. It's gonna be exciting. You want to know what else is exciting, Connor?
Housekeeping. This show is made possible by all our lovely supporters over on Patreon. You can get this show 3 days early. You can get the Casual Gaming News Conversation 3 days early. And you can get bonus episodes of the Casual Gaming Conversation each and every week. We have a Ghost of Yote spoiler cast coming up with me, Nick, and potentially Brady.
Yeah, we're working on that. That's the goal, for sure.
And then we just did a retrospective on the Nintendo 64, talking about our memories with that console. People seem to be really enjoying that one. So appreciate the love over there.
Get in the comments if you want to dispatch spoiler cast. I want to gauge the excitement for that. If like 10 people are gonna watch it, then we won't do it. We'll do something else. But if there's enough people that are like, I'm playing dispatch, I'm over on Patreon, I want that conversation. I will either get a conversation with myself, Connor, or Brady if either of them finish it, or I'll bring guests on. Like, I want to have that conversation. So if you want that, get in the comments.
Other exclusive spoiler casts that are over on Patreon are Death Stranding 2. We also have a Donkey Kong Bonanza one. We also have episodes on reacting to your top 5 games and a bunch of other topics over there in the backlog for the casual gaming conversation bonus episode.
Also, Hades 2 spoiler cast, which recently post me, Rogan Plays Games, one of the best podcasts we shot this year. But like, it was
Rogan
awesome.
Rules.
Yeah, Rogan's awesome. He's out in Madrid seeing Radiohead. He's
nice.
all over the place, man. Yeah, he's great.
Then at the next tier up, you have Recollecting Retro. We're going to do an episode. I'm going to go over all the consoles that I have. And then we have the Co-op 64 podcast where we each bring a topic and have a little discussion. We just had an episode go up where we talk about grocery store tier lists, bread, running.
I don't know what my topic was.
Shoot. Daft Punk.
Oh, dude. Come on, Daft Punk. You already seen that there's rumors that the person, half of Daft Punk, is now considering making a solo album?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's probably is what's going to end up happening, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But also, like maybe this is the perfect excuse to be like, we're no longer Daft Punk. He goes, produces a solo album. Let's say it's 50 minutes long. And he wants to go and tour that album. You do 50 minutes of that, and then you do what Stevie Nicks does with Fleetwood, where you play 20 minutes of Fleetwood music also. Right. Maybe you get that to happen. Because I just want it. I want it
Then at the highest tier, you can get your name right at the end of each and every podcast, and you have the opportunity to write in to be the 4th topic for the Co-op 64 podcast. Over on the Twitch side of things, we are starting up Cyberpunk 2077.
Get it.
Nick is continuing on Tuesday and Thursday with Final Fantasy X, and I am playing Batman Arkham Asylum on Wednesdays. Discord, we have a Discord server of over 2,800 members. You can go in there, chat, talk about video games, movies, etc., etc. We also have our forms written in there where you can write in for poorly described plots, fan voted lists, and all that good stuff. Then on Apple Podcast Services, leave us nice reviews. It gets the show out to more people. I'm totally winging the housekeeping right now.
You're doing a great job, man.
And merch, we have t-shirts, hoodies, mugs at co-op64store.com if you like to support the channel that way. Usually I have it written down on the form or on the like a Google Notes, but currently I just have the nominees on a separate thing because I typed it on my computer, so I didn't have to do it on my phone.
Same. Yesterday was a computer day for me, where I was on my laptop for basically all Thursday and all Friday. I've just been sitting on my computer. I do not want to see what my screen time is at the end of this week. Yeah. It's probably going to be ridiculous.
I've gotten my screen time better, but I still got work to do.
For me, the big issue is late night scrolling.
It's just so easy to rack up the time without really even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm eating a meal alone and just kind of scrolling on TikTok, and then all of a sudden that's 30 minutes added to the time, and it's like, that's just not good. Dude, you finish eating, and then you're just sitting there on your phone for another 10 minutes after that. It's like, it's bad.
Yeah, dude. Like the worst has been procrastinating playing video games for me recently, where it's just like, I want to go and do this, but then my work day is very odd, where it's like, okay, like I'll finish like a work thing, then I'll go and get lunch, and like right after I will then eat lunch here, and after I finish lunch, it's like, okay, like, do I hop into whatever's next? And then normally, instead of sitting down and playing a game, it's always, we got to change an edit for something real quick. We got to do like 30 minutes, 45 minutes of something that just needs to happen real quick. And then all of a sudden, it's like 4 o'clock. And I'm like, where did the fucking time go? And then I don't have the time to play games. And screen time just adds into that.
Yeah,
it's so much.
I've seen some advice about getting devices that like only do one thing and don't have like other distractions on them. So like I got an Apple Watch so I can just listen to music while I'm at work and don't even have to have my phone on me. And then when I have downtime, rather than like scrolling on my phone, I pull out the PSP and play 15 minutes of Persona 3 Portable, and like I think that like having really focused devices is very helpful for getting screen time down.
A good buddy of mine, we were hanging out doing some D&D stuff a couple weeks ago, and he showed me his phone, and his phone is a very basic, it still is a touchscreen phone, but it only has phone capabilities, very minimal Wi-Fi capabilities.
Dumb phone?
I think so. So it's got to be something that, but I've never seen it something like before. But he was like, I am such a happy person because of this, because he was addicted to his phone, and I was like, that's awesome, dude. So yeah, just getting excited about that. That's trying to get that screen time down. And the nice part right now is like, I'm only gonna play like 150 hours of BO7, and so that'll get that screen time down there.
I'm trading this screen time for other screen time, if that makes sense. But this feels like complete empty calories. Whereas, like if I'm playing Persona 3, it's like I'm doing something for the channel. I'm doing something that I find really rewarding and fun. It's like a fun hobby for me, like to be really engaged with video games rather than just scrolling on my phone. So I think that it's important to try to like kind of pick your battles though and take what you can get.
Totally, dude.
All right, hot takes. You want to kick it off?
Sure. My video game hot take is we need to bring back the 4-player couch co-op experience. Shout out to the team over at Hazelight for just doing a great job getting 2 people together on the couch and having these experiences of It Takes Two and Split Fiction and A Way Out. And sure, you can still play those games not locally, but when I hear about Campaign Evolve from Halo, I'm like, where's the 4-player split screen co-op experience? Let me play that campaign with my friends in one sitting. Shout out to BO7. I am not excited about BO7. The wind is not really my sails for that game in the way it was for BO6. But like the fact that we're getting 4-player co-op and are going to be able to play that game on the couch together, you, me, Brady, and if we had another friend, we could have them hop in. That's so important to video games and like the friend group aspect of gaming. There's a big conversation right now about multiplayer games for Game of the Year and like that versus single player experiences. My favorite type of experiences or multiplayer experiences, but not when I'm in a Discord call. Let me have the moments where I'm rolling over laughing or covering my buddy's eyes while he's playing Mario Kart or Smash Bros next to me. Having those moments where you're together and still enjoying the medium is so important. So my video game hot take is we need more dedicated 4-player couch co-op experiences. Give me just 1 or 2 a year. Like, we all know the fact that specialty type of games do well. The roguelike plus something else does well nowadays. The Souls-like plus something else does well nowadays. Find a way to do a co-op game plus 4-player co-op or a story game plus 4-player co-op that's super interesting, and have that extra secret sauce be sitting on the couch with your friends and have it be a great experience. Give me 1 of those a year. I'll be a happy man.
This is a cold take. I feel like everybody agrees with this. Everybody wants more of these games. They're just not financially viable, unfortunately.
I think that most people, they say they want it, but they really don't. They're like, hey, no, I want a 4-player co-op game, but then they're so chill with just being on Discord every night and playing Peak with their buddies or Arc Raiders. And once again, not to take away from those experiences, those games have their time and place. For me, I want the game where it is, I want to sit on the freaking couch with my friends, because that's where I get the most satisfaction out of video games. And that audience is not being served. And I understand that it's not super financially viable, but like find ways to like really do it well and allow for those experiences to be shared, where it's like, okay, like can we find a small budget indie type of studio to go and make something that is like the shared memory aspect of being on the couch together. Like, I know that the option to play Split Fiction and It Takes Two online, it's great. Don't get me wrong. But we all know that game is better if you're sitting next to the person and being able to go and like look at them and be pissed off when they fail. Like that's friendship right there, baby. So I want the 4-player co-op experience, especially, I don't know, like obviously what we do with you, me, and Brady, the 3 of us going and running through certain campaigns would always be a blast. So give me the 4-player co-op experience.
Right on.
Cool.
My gaming hot take is that I think that the reason that Xbox has failed and is going away potentially is because of a lack of exclusives, and that is the definitive reason. It's not because of Game Pass. It's not because of acquisitions. It's because they have just been completely unable to pump out really high-quality exclusives in the way that Nintendo and Xbox has for the last few generations since the 360.
Nintendo and PlayStation has.
Yes.
Yes.
If you look at their output from the Xbox One onwards, they just have not been able to make something even close to the level of what PlayStation and Nintendo has when it comes to God of War, Uncharted, The Last of Us, when it comes to Nintendo, Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Smash Bros. The games that they've been able to put out since then are solid, great video games that I would recommend. Indiana Jones, Hi-Fi Rush, Forza Horizon 5, but they lack in that aspect of you need to play these games. You have to be a part of the conversation, like you get for God of War, like you get for Breath of the Wild. The conversations online are really kind of propping these games up, and you want to be a part of those conversations. They have not been able to do that for the last couple of generations, something they were able to do during the 360 with Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, and Halo 3 and Reach. These were conversation games. These were games that people were talking about and convincing other people to like go out and play, and if you wanted to go out and play them, you had to have an Xbox 360. That has not been the case the last few generations. You can bring in the PC aspect, but if you're just talking about consoles, there's no like definitive like what would the game be for you have to get this console to play this game.
Well, the promise was something like Starfield, but my answer is Hi-Fi Rush. That is the only. But Hi-Fi Rush,
it's just not on that level of God of War. Not even close.
It's totally not when it comes to the conversational aspect.
And if they were pumping these games out even in a fraction of what Nintendo and PlayStation does, I think we would be talking about Xbox very differently in comparison to where they are right now.
Yeah.
So I think people point in a lot of different directions as to why they're failing, but I think it comes down to exclusives, and it's a bummer because I know a lot of people are frustrated with exclusives. They want to be able to play everything. It's a pro-consumer thing, but unfortunately, if you want a healthy ecosystem, you need these exclusives to help push the hardware, and we've seen that be the case throughout all of history of video games. That has just been a fact that you need exclusives to sell your hardware, and whether you like it or not, that's just seemingly the reality that we're in.
This is an interesting one because I'm going to bring in some CGNC action here. A brief news story that came up, and there's so much like hearsay to it that we didn't put it in this past week's episode, but it is the crossplay story or cross-buy story of like what could that potentially mean for PlayStation and everything. And I think that it means that PlayStation's one day going to have their own PC storefront, and that's the only way you're going to be able to buy the games. And that's not going to be on Xbox hardware. Like, I think that that's the route that we're going down because right now
it's going to piss so many people off.
Yeah,
I literally could not give two shits about that. It's the same thing with like Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
People fucking hate having two storefronts outside of Steam or whatever.
So yeah,
I don't care.
100%. I don't give a rip. But it shows the fact that like their whole strategy is exclusivity. You need to have the best games possible and go from there. And so for me, the way that I see it is you don't get the next generation to succeed unless you have a reason to go and pick up that box. You need to have something. And when it comes down to it, like I go back to 2020's PlayStation presentation starting out with, we're just going to show you the games. Because at the end of the day, the only reason we're here is the video games. I also think that like it's crazy that Xbox is seemingly incapable to make those high level type of conversation games. And once again, I think that they've made great games along the way.
Right.
One of my favorite games, and a game that I'm going to mention today, is South of Midnight, where it's like, I think South of Midnight excels at certain points. I think that a Hi-Fi Rush does the same, like where it's like, dude, like these games are awesome. With that being said, they're not taking over the market share in the way that God of War does, but even I'll toss in Expedition 33 this year. And it's like, we have a small indie team that's able to just go and like make something that becomes the conversation. We haven't had a game become the conversation in a positive light for Xbox in a long time. So I completely agree with the take.
All right. You want to get into the main topic? We're talking about the Game Awards nominees. We're going to go category by category, list off what we think is going to get nominated. We're not going to do every category, just stuff that we think we have an opinion on, I guess, or can make a good list for.
We got 12 categories today.
Or stuff that we even know about. We're not big into esports or anything like that.
And so these are going to cover a large number of the bases when it comes to this conversation. It's going to be an interesting one. I think we just hop in, dude.
All right. Nick sent me over a list of the categories. We're just going to go from the bottom to the top, finishing out with Game of the Year. These aren't in order of like how likely we think they are to be nominated until we get to Game of the Year, which we did put in an order.
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Starting out with RPG, what do you got, Nick? Best RPG.
RPG, I have Expedition 33. I have Monster Hunter Wilds. I have Elden Ring Night Reign. I have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I have The Outer Worlds 2.
We are exactly the same, except I have Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D instead of Elden Ring Night Reign.
Interesting.
Elden Ring Night Reign didn't get reviewed that well, dude.
I understand.
Are you just taking the FromSoft bump
I'm just taking the FromSoft bump here.
But Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D reviewed exceptionally well. People fucking love that game. Do you think it gets disqualified because of being a remake? Or?
It's not disqualified because of being a remake. I just don't think that it's captured the conversation or even the sales numbers. I don't know if enough people in those offices played that game. And in the way that, like, I know, like, I've listened to podcasts where people talked about it and great and it's awesome, but Elden Ring Night Rain has continued to be a conversation throughout this year that, like, I know so many creators that are like, okay, this got updated, we got to hop back in. Okay, this is a moment, we got to hop back in. And seeing the way the game's
also
progressed.
not a huge RPG game. Like, there's very little RPG mechanics in this. Like, with it's more of a roguelike, if anything.
From Software, baby. It's at the end of the day.
I don't know if that counts.
I'll also toss in the fact that my odd man out was Avowed.
I also had Avowed listed at one point. I forgot about Kingdom Come Deliverance too. I'm not gonna lie.
By the way, I'm gonna say this now. There's gonna be 3 or 4, maybe 5 times where Connor and I look at each other and just say, "Ah, shit, I totally forgot."
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
I pulled up a list of the games from 2025, best games or whatever. I pulled up Metacritic and just tried to piece it together through that. But even with that in mind, for whatever reason, I didn't see Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 listed there for like a lot of these categories. I had to go back through and be like, no, that would be in over this.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
So just a heads up there. That's going to happen, and we take the full shame of admitting when that comes together.
So just to reiterate here, because I didn't read off my list, I have The Outer Worlds 2, Expedition 33, Monster Hunter Wilds, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We're not going to predict what we think is going to win. That'll be a whole different episode once we actually have the nominees.
But man, I wonder what's going to win.
Yeah.
You want to move to Best Action Game?
Best Action Game. I'll kick us off here. I have Hades 2, Doom: The Dark Ages, Battlefield 6, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
I have some similarities to you, but I'm just going to read my list as it stands. I also have Hades 2, Doom: The Dark Ages, and then Ninja Gaiden 4, Hollow Knight Silk Song I'm putting into this category, not action adventure. I think you can go either way with it, but I think that the boss fights, at the end of the day, that game's boss fights. So I'm putting it into the action category. And my last game, Liza P. Overture. Liza P. got the nod in 2023. I think that there's going to be enough people that stand on business and say, hey, this game needs some recognition. This DLC needs some recognition.
Would that not be action adventure?
No, I look for Liza P. was.
Oh my goodness.
So
every single year I'm going to reiterate, I hate these fucking categories because I don't know apparently what an action adventure game is versus an action game.
The way that I say it is, when you think of action adventure, you think about Zelda, and you can piece it all together off of Zelda. You
I
think
feel
about
like
your
Hollow Knight Silk Song has more in common with Zelda.
narrative action adventure games. Narrative is normally a large part where there's a clear, direct narrative. You see that in like God of War and The Last of Us ends up in action adventure. Also,
yeah,
action games. I think about swinging a sword. That's my basic understanding of and then RPG has to have RPG mechanics.
So then
where you're role playing.
I thought about putting Night Rain in action game.
Yeah, that's totally a fine place to go there.
Okay.
Yeah, once again, but From Software always ends up in that. So this is also just like me being a student of the game and trying to piece it together. I might be totally wrong.
Yeah.
But I think that Hades 2 is a lock for that category of that will be there for sure. I think Doom: The Dark Ages is also kind of a lock for that category.
Me too.
And then you have Battlefield 6 in there.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't hate that discussion at all. I think that a lot of people...
Could Arc Raiders be in there?
That's the question mark where I think that this is where we could be a little bit off, where Arc Raiders right now reviewing exceedingly well.
It had like a 90 something on OpenCritic at one point.
Yeah, it's gone down since then. I'm pulling up Arc Raiders Metacritic right now. It's at an 87 on Metacritic.
Still really good.
Yeah, definitely good enough to get into this conversation where most of these games.
And I imagine Battlefield 6 has reviewed less than that, but you also have to factor in all the pieces of Battlefield 6, and the campaign's not very good in that game. So,
yeah.
Not that anybody really gives a shit about that. You're playing it for the multiplayer anyways.
Yeah. I'm curious to see where that lands. On OpenCritic right now, it's at 92 with 33 reviews. So it is the second highest reviewed game this year, which is just crazy to think about. Battlefield 6 is at 83 on OpenCritic. So, yeah, I could easily see that get in there. Yeah. That is a good enough score to get nominated for a category like this.
And it felt like it had a moment. You know what I mean?
Dude, it totally had a moment.
Yeah.
But the question is, Arc Raiders is having the moment right now, and we are.
Right.
It will be having the moment in 2 weeks' time when people are submitting their nominees.
I feel like Battlefield 6 has fallen a little bit, and mainly because I think of Arc Raiders, because it's just been so popular and kind of eating its lunch a little bit. I think that Shinobi Art of Vengeance is probably the game I'm least confident in here. I think that could easily be Ninja Gaiden Ragebound potentially. But yeah, shout out to 2D action games from this year because they really kind of deliver the goods.
They split the vote, sadly, in my opinion. I think that there's going to be people from certain offices that are all about Ragebound, certain offices that are all about Shinobi.
People like Shinobi more based off of what I've been able to tell online, but yeah, they're very similar games.
Oh, right, Connor, let's get to best action adventure. What do you got?
I have Hollow Knight Silksong, Ghost of Yotei, Split Fiction, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and the best action game with lots of action, Death Stranding 2.
So give it to me one more time.
Hollow Knight Silksong, Ghost of Yotei, Split Fiction, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Death Stranding 2.
Great. We have one difference here. I have Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Split Fiction, Silent Hill F. This is where I think it gets the nod.
Okay. And you put Silksong in the last category?
I put Silksong in the previous category, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So Silksong is going to get nominated for one of these two categories. It will not get nominated for RPG. It will be an action or an action adventure game for sure, 100%. So I could, and if it is an action adventure, Silent Hill F is the odd man out for sure. Yeah. The other four I think are guaranteed. I legitimately think guaranteed. Yeah, between Ghost, Split Fiction, Donkey Kong Bonanza 2, and Death Stranding 2. And Death Stranding 2 is an action adventure game as much as like
I was just making fun of the fact that it's mostly walking or whatever. So like it's a very like therapeutic like slow game. It's not like high octane for a lot of it, but there is some high octane moments for sure.
I was. You know this about me now. If I'm trying to fall asleep in a public place, I'm listening to low roar music, and I'm knocking out. And I just freaking love that soundtrack, dude, so freaking much. Death Stranding 2 is awesome. But yeah, I think the Split Fiction could get the nod here. Silent Hill 2 remake, not Split Fiction. Silent Hill F could get the nod here.
I'll be talking about Silent Hill F later.
I think. And I might not be.
Interesting.
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, I think that this is where you can go and say, hey, this game was great. A lot of people loved it. A lot of media really was about it. So, yeah, I think that this could easily.
86 on Metacritic is wild to me. But people have
you're allowed
tastes,
to disagree. You're allowed to disagree.
Right. It's hard. The thing is, when you see what people are saying online, like in the comments and everything, like for our review, I thought I was going to get smoked for giving it a 7. A lot of people were like, yeah, makes sense. Like, I totally agree. And other people were like, makes sense. I am higher on it because I don't care about the combat as much, but like, so there, it's really kind of preference.
But the nice part is it really does seem like most people understand what the game is,
right?
Like it's not a misunderstanding of like, but it just depends on what you want from an experience like that, and also what you require when it comes to scoring a game like that, which you've gone in depth on multiple times, and I completely agree with everything you've said.
Most anticipated game. I think this is a really interesting one.
This is fun.
Once you get down into like the last couple, there's a lot of options. But I think definitively the top 3 are GTA 6, Resident Evil Requiem, and Wolverine. And then now we have a conversation to be had on what the next 2 are.
I'm going to go with Rahul Kohli and Saros.
I have Saros as well.
And I'm going to go to Team Green and say Gears of War E-Day.
I have Fable.
Okay.
I also thought about Team Green for this last slot. Fable, Gears, Campaign Evolved, Forza Horizon 6 maybe, but I feel like Forza Horizon is the odd man out there because it's a racing game, unfortunately. But
if I find a genie and I get 3 wishes... Wish number 1 is 2026. If it deserves it, it gets nominated for a GOTY for Forza Horizon 6. Let it happen. Just like, please, let a fighting game or a racing game get the nod. Like, for the love of God, it feels a fighting game not named Smash Bros. And Smash Bros. Definitely deserves it too. But just like, golly, these games are awesome.
What else could be up here? Fire Emblem, maybe.
Marvel Tokon Souls, Fighting Souls could be up there. Marathon, obviously. No, I did so Connor knows this. I don't think I've said this yet. I did 6 for all of these at the start, and then I forgot that it was 5 for most of the categories. Then I texted him last night at like 10 p.m. about it. I did have Fire Emblem as my 6th game. That was my odd man out.
Weird to not have a lot from Nintendo.
Nintendo is weird because they do have a lot next year. It's just a lot of
good. Not a lot, like nothing on the level of
Rhythm Heaven, Tamagotchi, Fire Emblem, Pokemon, crazy Animal Crossing game, and then we assume we get
Pokepia?
Yeah.
Pokepia?
Pokepia.
Is that what it's called?
I have no idea. But yeah, I think that like there's not a Nintendo nod that you're going to here.
Interesting.
And then you go over to the team at Capcom, and you say Onimusha and Pragmata. Do one of those get the nod?
I thought about those as well, and those just don't have a ton of buzz around them. I'm excited for both of them. But
dude, Pragmata. That's one that I'm like, can we get a Pragmata date during Goaties? That would be awesome.
Yeah, people gotta put respect on that game. Get excited, dude. That game is awesome.
Game's awesome.
Judas.
No.
Yeah.
Oh man, that game's not coming out till 2028.
What a bummer. We thought we were going to be playing that this year.
I thought we were going to play it last year. Like when we saw the trailer in January of 2024 for that State of Play, I was like, dude, we're probably getting that like November this year, a little November. Come on. Yeah, that's
Anything
such
else?
a disappointment.
No indie game that's on the horizon. We got Hades out. We got Hollow Knight out finally.
Meet the Hollower is a major indie title that's
supposed to come out in October 31st. And they pushed it a year.
I know it's far. Yeah. So, I don't know if there's anything else, but like
6 months. I don't know.
The exciting aspect of next year for me is you look at what Team Green's doing. They have 4 major first-party titles. You look at what PlayStation's doing. They have 4 major first-party titles. If you look at what Nintendo's doing, you have a lot of great games, and then you have great third-party. Like next year's gonna be awesome, but I think that the definitive top 3 is what it is. And then you sort of just go from there.
Right. Okay. Best indie game. I have Blueprints, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, Despelote, and Ball Pit.
I have the exact same list.
Wow.
Mega Bonk was my odd man out.
Oh, that's a good one. What about some Friend Slap? What about like Peak?
I think Peak is a deserving nod. I think these other games though for media are better.
Yeah,
and it's just better. Like if the conversation was impact and all that stuff, sure, but I know that there's gonna be people being like, Ball Pit is the best indie this year, Despelote is the best indie this year, Blueprints is the best indie this year. I don't think anyone's saying Peak is the best indie this year, sadly, other than people that had a great time with their buddies and you and me and Brady screaming at each other and having a blast with it. And Roger was another one that I had written down. It's one of the highest reviewed indies this year. I don't think it got played by enough media though.
The only people I've heard from about that game is you and like Kind of Funny, and that's it.
There's a couple, Min-Max crew, obviously.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's funny. We don't have a lot to talk about. Dude, I think Despelote is the one that could be on the outs or Ball Pit.
I know very little about that game, but like I just feel like there's been buzz around it all year long. Somebody's always seemingly playing it in our Discord.
We got to do it. We got to. That's one of those. Right now, it's like. We got a little bit of time on our hands. I'm like, maybe I get into some indies, but I gotta finish Coach Yote still.
Short,
golly.
right?
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2 or 4 hours. I think it's 2 hours though. So yeah, one sitting. That would be nice.
Not a lot to talk about there. The upper echelon of that is like a definitive list. I think Blueprints, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, those are guarantees. Yep. And then from there, it's kind of like
I really think that it's Despelote, Ball Pit, Mega Bonk, Peak. 2 of those 4.
Yeah.
Pick your favorites.
Rematch?
No, not enough love. And dude. Like it's not going to be on my top 10 goaties because the way that I do my list is always that mix of favorite and best and all that shit. But
Rematch
like,
is so much fun, dude.
Rematch was so good, dude. That was such a fun. And for the people that are like, why do the boys play Battlefield 6 and stop playing Lots of P? It's because we want to recapture the rematch days of having fun in Battlefield. Okay, Rematch was a blast.
Wasn't nearly as fun.
No, dude. Rematch because Brady's out eating a freaking steak and mashed potatoes that Noah brings him over. I'm trying to be Coach Nick. And you're just doing whatever the hell. Oh, you were great as a keeper, yeah. And then playing with J-Bob, playing with freaking Jacob. Oh, it was a great time. Great time.
Best multiplayer, we have Arc Raiders, Monster Hunter Wilds, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Rain, and this is where I put Peak.
I have Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, Split Fiction, Peak, Elden Ring Night Rain. Night Rain and Monster Hunter Wilds were the difficult one. I think that when people think of Monster Hunter Wilds, they can think of that being more of a solo game, where Elden Ring Night Rain is a straight up multiplayer game.
Split Fiction?
Split Fiction, you can't play that game really solo, dude.
Yeah, but that's not what people, I think, are thinking of when they think of multiplayer for this category. They think of
get
online matches and I don't know. competitive multiplayer and stuff like that.
Yeah. So is the top end definitive? Do we like Arc Raiders?
Battlefield 6?
Yeah.
I think so. But then what's the next tier from there? Is something else in
I
that
think Peak,
upper tier?
I think Peak is in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Peak has a really good shot to get in on a category
I think Monster
like
Hunter
this.
Wilds was massive.
Yeah.
And that is a multiplayer video game. Like some people play it solo, but that I feel like if you're going to get the Monster Hunter experience, you got to play it with other people.
2021, Monster Hunter Rise did get nominated for multiplayer game, by the way. So that Monster Hunter is probably in there.
Yeah.
It Takes Two won.
Interesting.
So
okay. Well,
I think
if Split Fiction gets nominated, it's probably going to win.
Yeah. I think Split Fiction does get nominated and wins.
The multiplayer game of the year is
Split
Arc
Fiction.
Raiders.
Is Split Fiction.
No.
The best multiplayer game this year is Split Fiction.
I don't know.
Haven't played Arc Raiders yet. I need to play it. So maybe my opinion can change on
I'm
that.
not saying this isn't even my opinion. I'm just saying that looking at the way people are talking about these games, the biggest multiplayer game of the year seemingly is Arc Raiders and has a lot of quality behind it as well. So I would not be shocked if that wins. And I think that's probably the most likely.
Interesting.
For best score, what do you got?
Blood Bath. This is a serve it up every which way till Sunday classic Blood Bath. I have Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Hades 2, Mario Kart World, South of Midnight.
I knew you were going to put South of Midnight.
If South of Midnight does not get on here, I'm going to fucking riot. I'm going to be so disappointed.
I had it on here at one point.
It's classic Xbox. The thing that connects with me with a lot of their titles is they try to do something and then they excel at it in like such a high degree that I give it a high score because I'm like, I'm not getting this served anywhere else.
Yeah, and with one aspect of the game.
Yeah. And so you look at Hellblade 2 and it's like the graphics
Visuals,
in that game and the cinematic nature of it is higher than any other game maybe I've ever played. When I think of South of Midnight, it is the music and it's that art design and it's like everything else. I don't really care that the combat isn't that great. I'm not getting this experience from any other team right now in the industry. So yeah, South of Midnight I really hope gets nominated. It's well deserved. So yeah.
For me, I have Expedition 33, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Mario Kart World.
So no Hades 2 and no what?
You had South of Midnight, and I have Silksong.
Oh, you had Donkey Kong
and Bonanza.
Yeah, interesting. I
wish Silksong's music was better, but when it hits, it fucking hits hard.
Hades 2 has the excuse of there's a vocal track in it, and I think that when people think of the music this year, that vocal track is going to come to mind when it comes to the indie space in a major way.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played Hades 2, so
yeah.
But I know the Hades 1 music is fantastic,
dude,
and it did get nominated.
Hades 2.
I would not be shocked.
Hades 2 maybe. I chose 5 games that I think deserve to win a soundtrack GOTY. That is where I came down. Where Donkey Kong, I love it. Love the different ability songs.
The transformation songs, those are brilliant, dude.
Awesome.
Those are the best songs for sure. I do not think that the soundtrack is as good as other
Nintendo
3D platformer soundtracks. Yeah.
Or it's not as good as Odyssey. You can argue it's not as good as Sunshine. Like, there's so many good 3D platformer
but
Nintendo
it's still
games.
Really good.
The one that I also will like go to bat for, Mario Kart World,
yes. I know that seems like a dark horse for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going to be like,
win it.
Why is that here? Like, guys, you got to go listen to the soundtrack. It's fucking bananas. It's taking from like the entire Mario Kart franchise, mixing a lot of them into like these new courses and everything. It's really fucking good, dude.
It's nonstop. Playing this game with friends is so illuminating to just being like, it's really funny, and I'm not good enough in Mario Kart World to do this, but I'll be like, okay, I'm in first place. Let me just like look around, enjoy this, and the music just kicks, and you're just like, holy smokes, this is so freaking good. But then if Death Stranding 2 and Expedition 33 don't get nominated, I will not eat a shoe, but like
Yeah.
Like Death Stranding 2 needs to be nominated, and also
Just say you lead a shoe because it's gonna happen.
no, I'm not going to do that. Connor,
Come on, do it.
we cannot have 2/3 of the founders of this company have a photo with a shoe in their mouth. Okay,
Well,
1/3
we
is
both
plenty.
agree that it's for sure gonna happen.
1/3 is
so
plenty.
You're fine. You're safe. Just say it.
Death Stranding 2, I think Expedition 33 will win. Death Stranding 2 probably should win. For me, like Expedition 33 might be my like 5th favorite soundtrack this year, or 4th. I like Expedition 33 more than South of Midnight, and then after that, I think that it might be. Oh no, it's so Mario Kart World I think is better. Death Stranding 2 I think is probably better. Expedition 33 is a solid 3 there, but like it's one of the best soundtracks ever. I adore it. Connor gets annoyed when I'm blasting it in the apartment before he rolls in. Yeah, and then I really do think that the toss-up slots are, does Silksong get in? Does Hades 2 get in there? Does South of Midnight get in there?
Well, Mario Kart World, I do not think is a guarantee.
Yeah, I don't think it's guaranteed either. It should be. It really should be.
It should be a guarantee.
Yeah.
I think that's 3 personally. I think it's Expedition, Death Stranding 2, Mario Kart World for what I think should definitely be there.
Yeah.
All right. Best performance. What do we got, Nick?
Aaron Paul's Robert Robertson from Dispatch. Luca Marinelli's performance for Henry in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Ben Starr's Verso in Expedition 33. Jennifer English's Mael in Expedition 33. Andy Serkis's Renoir in Expedition 33. They deserve all 3 of those spots.
So I have the same 3 from Expedition 33.
Yes!
Verso, Mael, Renoir, Ben Starr, Jennifer English, Andy Serkis.
And then, can I guess one of yours?
Sure.
You have the lead from Silent Hill F.
No.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I played in Japanese.
Yeah, I was curious to see if you were going to go and give them the nod. I don't know.
I would be worried that they would split because of the different voice actresses.
Someone's coming to mind, and I'm kind of upset I didn't bring them up.
I have Higgs, Troy Baker from Death Stranding 2.
That's a great poll.
And I have Sam Porter Bridges, Norman Reedus from Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding, Expedition 33, only games nominated for performance.
Erika Ishii for Ghosts.
I don't.
I think that there's a chance.
I think there's a chance, but when you go compared to the other options here, I think there's a lot better options.
When I was looking, by the way, I think that I can point to certain Dispatch characters, and
I can see Erika Ishii or Aaron Paul from Dispatch getting in over Norman Reedus. But Norman Reedus got nominated last time, so I just kind of feel like it's probably going to happen
he
again.
had a better performance in this game than Death Stranding 1 by a bit, in my opinion.
I thought about doing Elle Fanning as well.
Yeah, Elle Fanning is. I did have Elle Fanning on my board for a little bit. I think that she is the standout in that game for me, performance-wise. I totally forgot about Higgs. Totally forgot about Higgs.
Come on, dude.
Higgs is well deserving. The Baconator's best performance ever.
Yeah.
Like, so larger than life and evil and awesome and badass. And oh man, Higgs should definitely be there. My thing, just going back to Expedition 33, what a bloodbath it's going to be. I think that the number one lock is Jennifer English, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But can we right the wrongs of history and go and get Ben Starr his goatee? Because he deserved it in 2023. And like both of their performances, I think that it's going to go to Jen when it's all said and done.
Me too.
But
I think that's a shoe-in, personally.
Yeah, but get Ben his goatee. He's one of those guys, and it's like Troy Baker. Like, eventually you're going to pick one of them up along the way. You expect this career to be a long-staying career, but like, it's going to go to Jen. And then, and here's the other one. I want to toss out that Renoir, I think, is the odd man out of my 5 of like, or of definitely the Expedition crew, but like.
The big factor there is that if you want more representation from more games, like you have to I think those are the people you cut.
It's Renoir.
But though I think that Renoir is probably better than the people who you would bring in.
Andy Serkis's Renoir is so brilliant. Like it is the voice lines that they're like. I don't want to quote certain things for spoiler purposes, but like,
so if you want the best of the best, it's going to end up being from these 2 games.
By the way, like, my personal favorite performance in that game is Renoir. I think that, and he doesn't have as many lines as the other 2.
I think that's fair.
But like, I think that like the amount of how dynamic of a character he is like the way that he's able to do it in so few lines is so insane. And the way that this whole game, I'm really trying to stay away from spoiler stuff. so much of it is on his back. And like understanding him as a character and understanding the dynamics of him and the other characters is like so freaking good. Also, I want to shout it out. I don't have the voice actor's name. I've met this person. They're awesome. Minoko's voice actor makes me laugh so much during that game multiple times.
Yeah.
The moment in the game where he's trying to be convinced to like join in and he's like, I'm done. I'm not doing it. And he goes, there's gonna be a lot of fighting. He's like, oh, that's a good point. And he goes, actually, I'm in. like that delivery gets me every single time. Really well performed. So good. And there's other moments. The please God help me line that like I bring up or brought up in the spoiler cast and everything. Like just so freaking good. You could make the case, hey, just put them all up there. It's like Baldur's Gate 3. It's like everyone had a great performance. Maybe they all just deserve to get a nod. This is probably my most curious that I am for a category out of every single category except for score, director, and Goaty.
For best narrative, I have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, South of Midnight, Silent Hill F, Death Stranding 2, and Expedition 33.
We got some differences, big dog.
Yeah.
I also have Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I then have Ghost of Yote, and I have Dispatch. Dispatch is an interesting one because that game's all narrative. That game's a TV show. And I think that it deserves it. Dispatch has slowly and surely won me over to being like, this is one of my favorite narratives this year. It might be in my top 3 narratives in the year when it's all said and done. Like I was so apprehensive to wanting to like this game because I'm just like superhero fatigue and this isn't really just working for me. And first 2 episodes, I'm like, okay, like I get this, like we're easing into it, it's fun, it's whatever. Next 2 episodes, I'm like, this is really good. And then the 2 after that, I'm just like, I just love this game. Like I'm just so in on it. And I think that is the progression that every single media person is having at this moment. And like when they think of narrative, it's probably going to lean in there. You brought up South of Midnight. I think that's a great pull. I think that narrative hits so well for just what it tries to do and the adventure that you go on and how just interesting it is and the small side stories that we can think back to and say, that's awesome. It delivers. Yeah. And then for me, Death Stranding 2, Expedition 33, locks. Lock it up 100%. You can't beat Doll Man. It's over. It's a wrap. And Expedition 33 is pretty good. You can't. Connor, the Doll Man dancing scene. Like, are you kidding me, dude? You can't beat it.
I don't know a lot about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but I know a lot of people really love the narrative in that game. When it comes to like the odd man out here that I think could end up not being on the list with Silent Hill F and South of Midnight, for me, it's like I've griped about those games. The story is not the gripe.
Yeah.
I think the story is exceptional in both of those games.
Yeah.
So, anything else on?
No, let's get into.
I feel like narrative was a tough one for me. There's just not that many games that I think like really excel when it comes to the story this year.
I was gonna bring that up. I think that's a big reason why you and I haven't connected this year so much to gaming in the way that a lot of other people have.
Yeah,
where it's like we are huge fans of narrative-based games.
And even then, like for games like Death Stranding 2 and Expedition 33, I think Death Stranding 2's story is worse than the first one. And then Expedition 33 didn't hit as hard for me as it did for other people when it comes to the narrative.
Yeah, for me.
So there really isn't a story this year that like really has blown me away.
Yeah, compared to last year where Rebirth and
Silent Hill
2. Yeah, there's so many that you can point to.
Balatro.
Yeah, for me, the Expedition obviously hit in a great way, but I have flaws in the narrative. I was talking to a friend about my narrative gripes with that game, and they were like, those are great points, like and totally fair. And if that takes you out of it in a way, like I'm like, it didn't take me fully out of it, but it takes me out of it in a way that is a little bit frustrating. And so, yeah, I think that this year is just so interesting narratively where this was probably the category I struggled the most with to be like, what actually gets in? Like having even Ghost of Yote in there, I haven't beat this game yet, but I'm like,
I had Ghost of Yote on there at one point. I know people don't like the story.
I know it's a strong narrative. When you think of best narratives, you think to PlayStation exclusives and stuff like that, and just I think that both of them get in this year for their major exclusives. They normally do.
Best art direction, I have Expedition 33, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Keeper.
Oh, Keeper is a great poll. I don't have Keeper. I also don't think it gets in.
I thought about South of Midnight instead. I had that listed there for a minute.
Can you list yours off again?
Expedition 33.
I have that.
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Don't have that.
Death Stranding 2.
I have that.
Hollow Knight Silksong.
Have that. Okay, exactly.
And Keeper.
So we have Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Hollow Knight together. Hades 2 is going to win this category. Oh, no, or it's probably Expedition with the...
Dude, everything that Expedition 33 is nominated for, it is going to win.
We'll talk about that.
Buckle up.
We'll talk about that in a moment. I think Hades 2 probably should win it. Hades 2's art direction, same with Hollow Knight. Like, both of these games just have impeccable art direction. The moment that you go and like land in Hollow Knight Silksong at the opening of the game, and I know it's not Green Path, but it's very similar to that type of...
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You're just like, what the hell? No one else is doing it like this.
Yeah.
And then when you look at the character design in Hades 2 and how distinct the Greek gods are, you're just like, dude, like, holy freaking smokes. They just understand every single time. They have obviously, like in Hades 1, where you get to a new area and you're able to like go out to a point and it looks up and it's just a piece of art. And there's like so many of those in the game, and you're just like, this is so freaking good. Like, I can just look at these games all day long. I honestly think that the Expedition shouldn't win this one. I have Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Silksong, Hades 2, South of Midnight.
Yeah, I think South of Midnight's a good poll.
South of Midnight, once again, it's where this game excels. I think that this...
It's so interesting that we have such high praise for that game in a lot of different areas. It's just the combat that holds it back.
You gave it a 7?
7.
Yeah, I gave it an 8.5.
Yeah.
Because I just adore that sound. Like, for me, when a game is getting nominated for multiple GOTYs like this, it's hard for me to go and give it a 7 in that area. And it's totally fair. But then at the same time, for you to give it a 7 because
what you're doing most in that game is the combat,
and it's just
excellent. Not very good.
Yeah, I completely concur with. But yeah, I think that this is a very interesting category. A lot of great art styles this year.
All right, best game direction. The last 2 categories get 6 nominees.
Yep.
So a little bit different from the last few. For best game direction, what do you got, Nick?
I have Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Hades 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Ghost of Yote, Split Fiction.
Ghost of Yote?
Yep.
For game direction?
Yep.
I have Expedition 33, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, Split Fiction, and Blueprints.
Okay, Blueprints was my odd man out.
Blueprints is, I feel like...
all game direction.
Yeah, like the third most likely here, maybe.
Yeah, so let's start here. Ghost of Yote.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it really comes down to, in this category, people knowing faces and names and knowing directors. And I don't think that that's the right way to do it all the time. But I think that Silksong easily can get in here too, with the way that people attach themselves to Team Cherry.
You don't have Silksong?
I don't have Silksong in here.
Dude, that's wild.
You don't have Hades 2 in here.
Yeah.
Which... boy, oh boy, I cannot wait for the end of this conversation. It's about to pop the fuck off.
I'm just going off of the conversation. And people just do not seem to be talking about Hades 2 in the same way that people were talking about Blueprints when it came out, talking about Split Fiction, Donkey Kong Bonanza even. Silksong had a way bigger moment than Hades 2, and that's not even to say that Hades 2 is not a fantastic video game. I'm sure it is. It just is getting hurt by the early access aspect of it. Like, that sucks for it, honestly. I really wish that they just released the full game and it was just out when it was ready. But I understand the reasoning. They did it with Hades 1 and it worked out really well for them. I imagine it's still working out from a financial standpoint for Hades 2, but I just think when it comes to awards and the way that people are talking about the year in video games, it's just not as highly talked about because of that.
Yeah, I think that it doesn't fucking matter when you're talking about...
Why not?
Conversation matters for certain categories. I think conversation matters for best multiplayer game. I think the
you
conversation
need
matters...
to be going to bat for it. You need multiple people to be going to bat for it.
I think that the people that played this game, it is their GOTY or it's their number 2. It's their GOTY or it's their number 2. Period, bar none. It is their GOTY or number 2.
I don't think enough people have played it, though. Is the problem.
I think that shockingly, way more people than you think have played it because of early access. The conversation isn't happening because it's been a 1.5 year long conversation. So there isn't the beat. There isn't a story that comes with it.
Kind of Funny nominate it or have it up in their list last year.
And it's going to be probably their number 2 this year.
That's wild, dude.
Their number 1. I think that
they shouldn't have had it on there last year, but I understand why they did or whatever. But like, I don't think an early access game should be up. But
sure, whatever.
I also don't necessarily know if like DLC should be up there, but I've had DLC in my list before.
Exactly. So I think that the Hades 2 will get the praise that it deserves. I also think that game direction, by the way, and this is going to be contradicting, game direction and game of the year pretty normally similar, right? They normally go and fill similar cups. But yeah, I really do think that Ghost of Yotei, the big thing is it's Sucker Punch, name that people know, open world design. That open world design is impeccable. It's arguably the best open world. But they've already
just done it once. That I think that takes away from it. For
I completely agree, and that's where I can see you want to give the nod to Blueprint.
Very safe when it comes to like the big swings with the direction. You know what I mean?
That's all fair. The open world design, the direction of what that game is still just.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm not
arguably the best.
Trying to talk down to it or whatever. Like,
I also, and this isn't. This is the Dan Campbell example. Dan Campbell is the coach of the Lions. Dan Campbell lost Ben Johnson and his defensive coordinator this year, and then the Lions are still awesome. Okay. When I think of game direction, I think of Ghost of Yotei is just still awesome. And sure, you can go and talk about the fact that you want to go and give the praise to the new and upcoming game, like the way people want to give the Colts the best coach this year. That in this case, that would be Blueprint. It's new, it's upcoming, it's sexy, it's exciting. But guess what? The game direction in Ghost of Yotei is still just the best in the same way that it was in 2020. And so I think that you might need to go and just give it the nod. So you Donkey Kong Bonanza, you also had?
Yes.
Slam dunk. Expedition 33, you also had? Slam dunk.
Death Stranding 2.
Slam dunk.
Kojima.
I think damn good chance to win it for game direction. Kojima's a hard guy to beat, Connor. He's a hard guy to beat. Because guess what? I also think that my answer might be Death Stranding 2. Like what I would go and like go to bat for in game direction. For me, it's either Hades 2 and then Split Fiction. That game is all game direction.
Yeah.
And Joseph Ferris, once again, like I think people care about names. And when they think about game direction, if they're able to put a face to it, it makes it a little bit easier to be like, oh yeah, the direction in this is easy. Kojima and Joseph Ferris, two of the biggest names in the industry. Both, and people are going to point to it, and I've already discussed this. It's because they like them and they know it. It's also just because they're the best game directors, and these have the best game direction this year that they both are well deserved of nominee.
To Donkey Kong Bonanza, dude, reinventing what a 3D platformer even is in a lot of ways. I think that's really impressive, and that's all game direction.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza definitely deserves it. The real interesting thing is, so you have Expedition, Donkey Kong, Death Stranding 2, Split Fiction. What are your two other ones?
Silk Song and Blueprints.
Yeah, both. I could totally see both of them getting nominated too, because I think that they are just. I think that this year comes down to people were talking about this. How many games can realistically get nominated for Game of the Year this year? And is this the most competitive year since Co-op 64 began? 2023, 2024, now 2025. I think that there's only like 7 realistic games that can actually get nominated for Game of the Year this year. Yeah. I'm down to 7. And I think that amount of a short list goes and limits the potential for like an unbelievable.
I think the reason people would say that it's the most competitive, I think, is because this year is the most consistent year we've had in a very long time. Shout out to DQ Roman. He had a take about this that kind of sparked this in my mind as well. That like I prefer 2023 and 2024 when it comes to the high end of the games from those years. But you can't deny the amount of consistency in 2025. There's more games of high quality than there have ever been, it feels like. And whether or not you fall in love with them and love them to the same level as I do, something from 2023, 2024, stuff like Alan Wake 2, Final Fantasy 16, Silent Hill 2, Astrobot. I don't think there's anything on that level, or there's a few games that are close to it, like Donkey Kong Bonanza for me. But there's just so much to fucking enjoy and play. It's difficult to complain about it. I like I said, still prefer those previous years, but if you say that you prefer 2025, I think that's perfectly reasonable to me.
All right, so we're gonna tee this up for each other. We're going 6 up, right?
No, we're going 1 down because we think that the top end is really obvious.
Yes, I agree.
If you want to go first,
sure. Do you want to tee me up and then I'll tee you up, or how do you want to do this?
Is that what makes the most sense?
Nah, I'll just hop in.
Okay,
I'll just hop in. These are my predictions for the 6 games getting nominated at the Game Awards. We're going most likely to least likely for this one because I feel like the most likely is so obvious that that's how we're going to start this whole thing out. Most likely, guaranteed, 100%, without a doubt, Expedition 33 will get nominated. It is going to happen. Take it to the bank. It's the most guaranteed nomination possible. Number 2, the only game that can dethrone Expedition 33 this year is Hades 2. It is a 95 on Metacritic. When a game is that high on Metacritic, the only way it is ever lost is if there's a game that is higher on Metacritic. That is not the case this year. 95 versus the plethora of 92s. It's been an amazing year in gaming. I think Hades 2 has a shot. And in my heart of hearts, it's the only game I've given a masterpiece to this year. I think that it could knock it off. Number 3 is Hollow Knight Silksong. What a moment. What a moment for this industry. What a moment for indie teams. What a moment for us as players finally getting one of the most anticipated games, not just into the indie market, but of all time. And for it to deliver the goods 100% deserves a nomination this year. It's brilliant. Hollow Knight Silksong at my number 3 slot. Number 4, for most likely to get nominated for the Game Awards, I have Donkey Kong Bonanza. Donkey Kong Bonanza is just a immaculate platformer. Many 10s were given to this one, and all of those 10s I completely understand. Completely changed what a 3D platformer is. It's awesome. Donkey Kong coming back in a major form. One of the best finales in all of video games this year. At number 5, I have Death Stranding 2. Kojima, open world, the feeling of loneliness, epic story moments, one of the best finales in gaming ever, one of the most badass finales in gaming ever. I just like the journey that you go on in this one so freaking much, and I think that that connects with basically everyone that plays it, and it is really impressive. So, yeah, Death Stranding 2 at number 5. Number 6, this is the biggest question mark spot of the year. I'm going to go with Blueprints. I think that there are enough people in these offices going to bat, making sure that this game does not get thrown away in the wash of the conversation. So many people, when this game initially came out, said that this is not just one of the best games that's going to come out this year, that it is one of the most definitive puzzle games of all time. It's one of the best indie games of all time. Many 10 out of 10 scores, one of the highest Metacritic scores on the year. I think that it edges itself above a couple of those other games, Yote, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, just enough that those are going to be the 6 nominees for this year at the Game Awards.
Right on. Okay.
It's so exciting. It is intoxicating to get to do this. It's my favorite podcast every year. Like, straight up, I love it.
These are my predictions for the nominees for Game of the Year at the Game Awards. Most likely to least likely. For the most likely, I'm going to give it to Expedition 33. And in that same bunch, I'm going to give number 2 to Hollow Knight Silksong. These games both were highly reviewed when they came out, and it seemed like everybody was talking about them. Everybody was playing them. Everybody was enjoying them. And people still are talking about both of these games today, weeks and months after release. Next up, I have Donkey Kong Bonanza. Nintendo is a Game Awards darling. This is one of the best 3D platformers of all time. The best Nintendo outing of this year for sure. Excellent soundtrack, excellent art design. Going to get a lot of nominations across the Game Awards. That puts it at number 3 for most likely. Number 4, I have Hades 2, the highest reviewed game on the year, 95 on Metacritic. I think that makes it a shoo-in to be nominated at the Game Awards. Number 4 for most likely. Number 5, I have Death Stranding 2, Kojima, another Game Awards darling. And this game seemingly just kind of built on the first one in so many ways. And Death Stranding 1 is a little bit more divisive, and this game seemed to just bring more people back around to it and get more people in, more people talking about it, more people falling in love with the world of Death Stranding. So I think that gives it a really high chance to be nominated at the Game Awards. My last pick here, where Nick and I disagree, we're going to go with Split Fiction. I've had this up there for a potential nominee since release, and it's just kind of stayed in that ballpark of there's been other releases that I think could have knocked it out, but I've always said that I think that it's probably the most likely to take that 6th spot because of Hazelight's history. They're doing something that nobody else is doing in the industry when it comes to couch co-op, when it comes to split screen co-op. The direction of this game is fantastic, and they've previously won a Game of the Year award with It Takes Two, so I think that makes them the 6th most likely to be nominated with Split Fiction this year.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
So exciting.
I think Blueprints is a good poll. I think that it's Blueprints, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, then Split Fiction, Ghost of Yote as well. I think those are all the block for 6.
I think the block is a lot shorter than we're giving credit to. I think it's Blueprints, Split Fiction. We're done.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Part of me and I even did it in my spiel, like, you want to go and say Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is in this conversation. You want to say Yote because I have Yote freaking on this board like 5 other times.
Yeah.
It's just not...
You didn't have it for art direction? Yote?
Yote, I did not have for art direction.
I had it up there for a minute.
Oh, dude,
because the art direction is so good.
Using that photo mode, baby.
I don't get so photo mode, man. I don't understand it.
Screenshotting on my PlayStation. I don't actually use photo mode. Real quick, just to clarify, if you were to just go based off of, can you off the top of your head name the top 6 releases this year for Metacritic?
Tears of the Kingdom and Breath
yeah, so those are the 2 highest. It's Hades 2 at 1, obviously.
Hades 2, Silk Song.
Do you want it in order or do you want to discuss it?
Okay, Hades 2, Silk Song.
Silk Song is in the top 6 for new releases.
So not top 5.
It's not in the top 5.
Okay, so Hades 2.
Wait, no, it is number 5. Sorry.
Silk Song, Expedition 33.
Yep.
Donkey Kong Bonanza is not.
It's at number 6.
Death Stranding 2 is not.
Nope. That's at number 12. It's at an 89 nowadays.
It's not Split Fiction.
It is Split Fiction. Split Fiction at 91.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I thought it was at a high 80s.
And then I'll help you out. Blueprints.
Yeah, okay.
Is at 92.
I would have gotten to that. Yeah.
So the conversation, in my opinion, in the way that like Metacritic is not a perfect barometer for Game Awards. 100%. I understand that.
Did you see Vorpalman in the Discord went through and was like, somebody asked, does the highest reviewed game on Metacritic, how likely is it to win? I think it's won 3 of the last 10. So not that many.
Baldur's Gate had won at the highest.
Yeah, I think then
96.
The Last of Us Part 2.
And then Elden Ring also won at a 96.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than that, I'm pretty sure. Breath of the Wild must have won.
It was 3 or 4. I don't know.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild is definitely the highest reviewed game that year. Red Dead 2 is not. Sekiro is probably not. I think that's an 89.
Red Dead didn't win.
Exactly. Red Dead 2 is higher. Yeah. Yeah, that checks. That makes sense.
So, like, you using Hades 2 as like,
it's never been that different though. The 3 points is a massive gap.
It's a big difference.
That is like also the difference between a 90 94s can lose when there's a 96. You know, like 93s can lose when there's a 96 out there. 92s lose when there's a 95 out there. Is what I'm trying to say. When we're and by the way, Expedition 33 is probably going to win this whole fucking thing. It probably is. There is
a 99.9% chance it wins.
I really think that there's a non-zero chance. It is 2018 all over again. And Expedition 33 just award, and it doesn't win the Game of the Year.
Because of Hades 2.
Because of Hades 2.
Dude, there's just not that much buzz around Hades 2. I think that matters more than you think it does.
I'm telling you, dude, I think when it is all said and done, that there is a very realistic chance that more gaming outlets this year give Hades 2 Game of the Year than Expedition 33.
I think that's
Expedition 33 for so many of these outlets, and by the way, the proof is in the score in this circumstance, gave Expedition a 9 out of 10. More people gave it a 9 out of 10 than a 9.5 out of 10. More people gave it an 8 than a 10. That is the way that this game is discussed amongst games media. Those are the people that decide on this motherfucker. And so when you have that be the case, you want to know what the case is for Hades 2? More people gave it a 10 than an 8, than an 8.5. And enough people gave it a 10 to account for those two scores. And then it's 50-50 between 9s and 10s. 95 to me doesn't scream like And it goes back to my review and the way that I talk about this game, the way that, yes, I fucking love this game. It's one of my favorite games, and I love Expedition 33 too. I'd be so okay with it to win. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. And if Death Stranding 2 wins, I'd also be so stoked. I love Death Stranding 2. I love so many of these games.
Nick.
That's not going to win. That's not going to win for sure. I think there's a chance it doesn't get nominated.
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2.
But I also think there's a chance Hades 2 doesn't get nominated. I think there's a chance.
Hades 2. If Hades 2 doesn't get nominated, I want to be very clear, and there's a chance, I will legitimately cry. And not due to the fact that I'm like sad, just due to the fact that this will be the most wrong I think I've ever been on content.
Yeah.
Like definitively incorrect.
You've doubled and tripled down on it, dude. I pushed you on it so much on streams, on podcasts. And
5 points, dude. It is or 95, 3 points. That is like the hard. And if you want to go and be like, okay, but like last year, Astro wins with a 94. There was things around that 94 area, but it's a 94. 92s don't win when there's a game that's that much better. And this is the hard part for me. I understand that turn-based games had this awesome moment, and it's great that so many people have gotten in on turn-based games, and I'm so excited for the people that are illuminated to a new genre. Hey, I am convinced I will never play a roguelike as good as Hades 2, ever. I don't know how that genre gets better. I've had Pokemon Legends on my Switch 2. I'm in the air. I started playing Hades 2 because I couldn't imagine playing a game like Pokemon when Hades 2 is on the same fucking console. That is how good of a video game it is. If it does not get nominated, and that's where my bigger fear is, it not getting nominated. Shout out Blueprint. By the way, before we hop in to Patreon names, I will at least try every single game of the year nominee. If Blueprints does not get nominated and Split Fiction does, my life becomes a lot easier. If Blueprints does get nominated, 2 weeks before or the week before, we're going to be playing Blueprints every single morning for like 6 hours each, and I will beat Blueprints. If not, then it's just Hollow Knight. And Hollow Knight will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the Game Awards week. Just heads up there.
I can't wait for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 to get nominated, and you have to play it.
I wouldn't beat Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I would stream a shit ton of it. It's not going to get nominated.
You mentioned Pokemon. Last night when I was making the RPG list, I thought about putting Pokemon on there.
Interesting.
It's not a lot of RPGs this year.
Yeah. Well, the question is like, what is an RPG for that category?
All
right. Dude, thank you so much for listening to us talk about this. It's my favorite conversation to have every year.
This show is made possible by all our lovely supporters over on Patreon. If you support us at that highest tier, you get your name read at the end of each and every podcast. You ready?
Yes, I went and looked up Metacritic instead of having Patreon names up. That's my bad. All right, I'm good.
Members like Max,
Blake is a dog,
Brambino,
Cash R,
Chaboy Jake,
Squidalicious,
Jakey P,
Squidalicious definition. Pagey,
Pigeon Power,
Library Daniel,
Tyler,
Sir Shellas,
Raincoat,
Ooh Crazy,
Choozar,
MG Dunbar,
Mr. Munchies,
Farm Spud,
Rocket Tater,
Nofi,
Proto Dan,
the dankest Mike,
Swampy Bits,
Jaxie T,
Tristan C,
Sconesy C,
Striking 1978,
Das Scoopy,
Dinkelberg Rules,
Sanshiro,
Hook'em Horns,
Go Nash,
Neutral Sphere,
Easton C,
Kingdom Hearts Rules,
Stooby Dooby Dooba,
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
Wooly,
Jacob D,
Big Bird,
Mel Nate,
The Patty Cake,
Bear Puck,
Cowboy Jesus,
Mega,
Yogi,
Damn,
Holden M,
Colin C,
Brock,
Voodoo,
Milky Sins,
Alex Golden,
Andrew H,
Master Diz,
Cannon Fodder Games,
Only One, Rufus,
Drifter X1, Skirt,
yeah, Goops,
JMAT B3,
Ali Benali,
Michael,
and Kingdom Hearts Sucks.
Thank you for joining us on this episode. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.